Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is a small old graveyard. It is located near the suburb of Midlothian, Illinois. This is southwest of Chicago. The cemetery sits within the Rubio Woods Forest Preserve. Many people believe this cemetery is very haunted. Some even call it one of America's most haunted locations. Its spooky reputation is known by many people, both near and far. People often visit to see if the chilling stories are true. It attracts ghost hunters, paranormal enthusiasts, and curious individuals. The cemetery is quite old. It holds a great deal of history within its wooded confines. The cemetery's widespread fame comes from numerous ghost stories. These eerie tales have been passed down for many decades. They tell of strange sights and unexplainable sounds. Visitors report seeing ghostly figures among the tombstones. They also claim to hear whispers when no one is around. The atmosphere in Bachelor's Grove is often described as unsettling. Even during bright daylight hours, some visitors feel a sense of unease. The dense woods that surround the cemetery add to its profound mystery. This historic place holds a dark and powerful allure for many people who dare to explore it. It is certainly more than just a final resting place for the deceased. Why is Bachelor's Grove so particularly famous for its ghosts? Many people believe that spirits linger among the trees and graves. These spirits might be the restless souls of former local residents, or perhaps they are connected to darker events that occurred here. The cemetery has endured a very troubled past. This difficult past includes long periods of neglect and shocking acts of vandalism. Some paranormal experts say these disturbances might have angered the dead. The stories of hauntings are plentiful and quite varied. Each new tale adds another layer to the cemetery's already spooky and enduring legend. This essay will carefully explore the many facets of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. We will delve into its early history and its development. We will examine the famous hauntings that have been reported for years. We will also discuss the numerous investigations and media attention it has received. Skeptical viewpoints and rational explanations for the phenomena will also be presented. The cemetery's significant cultural impact on the local area is important too. Finally, we will look at its current status and preservation efforts. Join us on an intriguing journey into this mysterious and often frightening place. Let us try to discover the secrets of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery together. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery first began in the early to mid-1800s. The very first recorded burial here likely took place around 1834 or perhaps 1840. The land in this area was originally settled by families from England, Ireland, and Scotland. One notable family among these early settlers was the Bachelor family, sometimes spelled Bachelor. It is possible the cemetery and the grove itself was named after them. Another theory suggests it was named for a number of unmarried men who lived and worked in the area. This early history is very important for understanding the true nature of the place. It started as a simple, small community burial ground for local pioneers. The area around the cemetery was once known as the Bachelor's Grove Settlement. In its early days, it was a small but thriving community. The people who lived there were primarily pioneers and hard-working farmers. They needed a dedicated place to bury their loved ones with respect. So the cemetery was officially established on a small, secluded plot of land. It was peacefully surrounded by tall trees and natural Illinois prairie. It served many local families, including well-known names like Fulton, Shields, Hamilton, and Patrick. The names of these families can still be found on some of the few remaining weathered headstones today. The cemetery was actively used for burials for many decades. Most of the interments occurred during the 19th century. The last officially recorded burial took place in the year 1965. However, some local stories suggest that unofficial burials continued quietly until the 1980s. For many, many years, Bachelor's Grove was a peaceful and respected place. Families would visit the graves of their relatives. They would tend to the plots and plant flowers. The setting was quiet, serene, and respectful. It truly reflected the rural farming life of that era in Illinois. Its small size made it an intimate final resting place. The original grounds of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery were actually larger than what remains visible today. A portion of the cemetery land was unfortunately lost. This happened due to the construction of the nearby Midlothian Turnpike. The surrounding Rubio Woods Forest Preserve also grew and expanded around it over time. This increasing isolation inadvertently contributed to its later problems with neglect and vandalism. Understanding its peaceful origins helps us to see the full tragedy of its subsequent decline. It was once a cherished and sacred spot for the community. Now it is known more for its chilling ghost stories than for its historical residents. This significant shift in perception is a crucial part of its story. By the middle of the 20th century, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery began to fall into a state of decline. Fewer and fewer burials were taking place there. Many of the families connected to those buried had moved away from the area. Others had simply died out over the generations. As a result, the cemetery became overgrown with weeds and brush. It was largely forgotten by the wider community. This period of neglect made it highly vulnerable to misuse. The once carefully tended grave sites fell into serious disrepair. Headstones started to lean precariously, crack, and even fall over completely. Nature slowly began to reclaim the land. This marked the beginning of a very dark chapter for Bachelor's Grove. Vandalism became an extremely serious and destructive problem, especially during the 1960s and 1970s. People, often teenagers looking for trouble or a thrill, broke into the isolated cemetery. They deliberately toppled and smashed many historic headstones. Some graves were even reportedly dug up and desecrated. This destruction was truly shocking to the local community. It showed a profound lack of respect for the dead and for history. The cemetery's remote location, tucked away in the woods, made it an easy target for such acts. Law enforcement found it very difficult to effectively patrol the area. The damage caused during this time was extensive and deeply troubling. Many irreplaceable historical markers were lost forever. During the same period of neglect and vandalism, even darker activities were reported to be taking place. Rumors began to spread throughout the local area. These rumors spoke of satanic rituals and other occult practices being performed within the cemetery grounds. People claimed to find disturbing evidence of these secret rites. This evidence sometimes included alleged animal sacrifices and strangely drawn symbols. These unsettling stories added a new sinister layer to the cemetery's growing reputation. They fueled widespread fears and contributed to its eerie legends. The very idea of dark magic being performed there terrified many people. It transformed the image of the cemetery in the public mind. The unfortunate combination of prolonged neglect, rampant vandalism, and alleged dark rituals deeply affected Bachelor's Grove. It was no longer seen as sacred ground by many members of the public. Instead, it became a place of morbid curiosity and fear. The numerous stories of desecration likely contributed to the proliferation of ghost tales. Many people believe that such disrespectful acts can disturb the spirits of the dead. The atmosphere of the cemetery grew heavy and oppressive with these dark associations. This troubled period firmly cemented its reputation as a truly haunted and profoundly disturbed location. The physical damage was immense, but the damage to its peaceful legacy was perhaps even greater. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is said to be home to many famous and frequently reported ghosts. Perhaps the most well-known of these spectral residents is the Lady in White. She is also sometimes referred to as the White Lady or the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove. She is often seen sitting quietly on a particular tombstone. Some stories say this tombstone marks her own child's grave. She usually appears as a young, sorrowful woman. She is always described as wearing a flowing white dress from an earlier era. Some reports suggest she is eternally searching for her lost baby. Her appearances are often tied to nights when there is a full moon. She always seems sad and forlorn. Another very famous and perplexing haunting is the appearance of the Phantom Farmhouse. Countless visitors to Bachelor's Grove have reported seeing a ghostly white farmhouse. It seems to materialize out of nowhere and then disappear just as suddenly. It often looks like an old-fashioned farmhouse, possibly from the 19th century. Sometimes it is described as having a welcoming porch light glowing warmly. People who see it often try to approach the mysterious house. However, as they get closer, it flickers and vanishes before their eyes. Interestingly, historical records show no evidence that a farmhouse ever stood at that exact spot within the cemetery. This makes the sighting even more mysterious and intriguing. Other distinct spectral figures have also been consistently reported by witnesses over the years. A ghostly farmer and his trusty plough horse are sometimes seen. They appear as if they are still tilling the land just as they did in life. Then they fade away into the trees. A ghostly black dog is another frequent and notable sighting. It is often seen near the main entrance to the cemetery grounds. Some believe this spectral dog acts as a guardian of the graves. There is also the famous Madonna of Bachelor's Grove photograph. This picture, taken by a paranormal investigator, appears to show a translucent woman praying on a grave. This single image became very famous worldwide. These specific and recurring apparitions contribute greatly to the cemetery's extensive haunted lore. They are not just fleeting shadows or vague feelings. They are often described as distinct figures with their own apparent stories and purposes. The lady in white often evokes feelings of sympathy and sadness in those who see her. The phantom farmhouse consistently sparks curiosity, wonder, and sometimes disbelief. The ghostly farmer and his horse, along with a black dog, add to the rural, historic, and slightly eerie atmosphere of the grove. These particular ghosts help make Bachelor's Grove a truly unique and renowned haunted site. They are undeniably the stars of its many chilling ghostly tales. Section 5. Whispers in the woods, orbs, sounds, and unseen presences. Besides the sightings of full-bodied apparitions, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is well known for other kinds of strange phenomena. Mysterious, unexplained lights are a very common report from visitors. These are often described as floating orbs of light. They can appear in various colors, such as blue, red, or white. These orbs are seen moving silently through the trees. They sometimes hover over grave sites. On occasion, they seem to follow visitors as they walk through the cemetery. Other times, they dart away quickly as if startled. These enigmatic lights have been captured in photographs and on video. They are a hallmark of the cemetery's paranormal activity. Unexplained sounds also frequently fill the air at Bachelor's Grove. Many people report hearing disembodied voices. These can range from soft whispers to faint mournful cries. Sometimes, full sentences are heard clearly, but no living source for the sounds can be found. The distinct sounds of horses whinnying or even children laughing and playing have also been reported by surprised visitors. These auditory phenomena add significantly to the eerie and unsettling atmosphere of the place. They make visitors feel as though they are definitely not alone, even when no one else is visible. The sounds often seem to come from no specific direction or from everywhere at once. Many visitors to Bachelor's Grove also experience sudden and inexplicable temperature drops. These distinct cold spots can occur even on very warm days or summer nights. They are often localized to specific areas within the cemetery, sometimes just a few feet wide. These cold spots are sometimes accompanied by a strong feeling of dread or an unseen presence. People also report being touched by unseen hands. They might feel a gentle push, a slight pull on their clothing, or a distinct tap on their shoulder or back. These physical sensations can be very disturbing for those who experience them. They make the haunting feel very real and intensely personal. The pervasive feeling of being watched is an almost universal experience among visitors to Bachelor's Grove. Even individuals who do not see or hear anything overtly paranormal often report this distinct sensation. It is typically described as a heavy, oppressive feeling that creates unease. It makes many people want to leave the cemetery grounds quickly. Some visitors also report encountering strange, unexplained smells. These might include the sudden scent of flowers, like roses or lilies, when none are visibly present. Other times, a foul odor of decay is noted. Electronic equipment such as cameras and audio recorders often malfunctions inexplicably here. Batteries may drain suddenly or devices might turn off and on by themselves. Section 6 under Investigation, Paranormal Teams and Media Spotlight. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery has attracted the attention of countless paranormal investigators over the decades. These dedicated groups often come to the cemetery armed with specialized equipment. They typically use electromagnetic field meters, digital audio recorders, and various types of cameras, including infrared and full spectrum. They hope to capture objective evidence of the reported ghosts and paranormal activity. Respected organizations like the Ghost Research Society, based in the Chicago area, have investigated Bachelor's Grove many times. Their findings often include intriguing photographs and unexplained audio recordings known as electronic voice phenomena. The late Richard Crowe, a famous Chicago ghost hunter, frequently led tours here and helped to popularize its chilling stories. One of the most famous pieces of potential evidence to emerge from Bachelor's Grove is the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove photograph. This iconic image was taken on August 10, 1991 by Judy Huff Felts of the Ghost Research Society. The photograph appears to show a woman in old-fashioned attire, sitting on a checkered patterned grave monument. She appears somewhat transparent and ethereal. The image was widely published in newspapers and books. It brought significant national and even international attention to the small, secluded cemetery. Many people in the paranormal community believe it is genuine photographic proof of a ghost. Others have attempted to debunk it, suggesting various natural explanations. It remains a highly controversial and iconic image in the field of ghost research. Numerous television shows focusing on the paranormal have also featured Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. Popular programs such as Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Dead Files, and Unsolved Mysteries have all filmed segments or entire episodes there. These shows brought the cemetery's eerie stories and haunted reputation to a much wider, mainstream audience. They often tend to sensationalize the hauntings for dramatic effect. However, they also document the experiences of visitors and investigators. Sometimes the television crews themselves report experiencing unexplained paranormal activity while filming. This widespread media exposure has firmly cemented Bachelor's Grove's title as one of America's most haunted graveyards. It has transformed it into a popular destination for ghost tourism. The consistency of reports from different investigative teams and various media productions over many years is notable. Many independent groups and individuals capture or experience similar types of phenomena. This includes the frequent appearance of light orbs, the recording of electronic voice phenomena, and numerous personal experiences like cold spots or being touched. While the specific methods and equipment used by investigators may vary, the location itself seems to reliably deliver unexplained activity. This ongoing interest from both researchers and the media keeps the legends of Bachelor's Grove alive and thriving. It also encourages more and more people to visit, hoping for their own paranormal encounter. Each new investigation and each new story told adds another layer to the enduring mystery of this place. Section 7. Fact or fiction? Skeptical perspectives and rational explanations. While the ghost stories surrounding Bachelor's Grove are popular and captivating, skeptics offer alternative explanations for the reported phenomena. Many of the strange occurrences can potentially be explained through natural causes. For example, the mysterious lights or orbs often seen floating through the cemetery could be swamp gas. The cemetery is located near a swampy forest preserve area. Decaying organic matter in such environments can produce flammable gases like methane. These gases might ignite briefly and spontaneously, creating fleeting lights. Another possibility for the lights is the reflection of headlights from nearby roads, such as the Midlothian Turnpike, especially when there is mist or fog in the air. Orbs appearing in photographs are often attributed by skeptics to dust particles, moisture droplets, or small insects that are very close to the camera lens and illuminated by the flash. The powerful psychological phenomenon of suggestion likely plays a significant role at Bachelor's Grove. People often visit the cemetery specifically because they expect to see or experience ghosts. This strong expectation can greatly influence their perception of events. If you're told that a place is haunted, you are naturally more likely to interpret ambiguous sounds, sights, or feelings as paranormal in origin. A dark, creepy, and isolated cemetery like Bachelor's Grove is the perfect setting for such suggestion to take hold. The human mind can indeed play tricks on us, especially in unfamiliar or frightening environments. Fear itself can heighten the senses and make ordinary things seem extraordinary or threatening. This is a common psychological explanation for many reported paranormal experiences. Misidentification of ordinary things is also a very common factor in allegedly haunted locations. Strange sounds heard in the cemetery could easily be caused by animals moving through the woods. The rustling of leaves in the wind, the snapping of twigs underfoot, or the natural cries of birds or other wildlife can be mistaken for ghostly whispers, footsteps, or moans, especially at night. The famous phantom farmhouse could potentially be an optical illusion, such as a mirage. Or perhaps it is a distant, real house seen under unusual atmospheric conditions that distort its appearance or location. Old, weathered and damaged headstones can sometimes look like human figures when seen in dim light or from a distance. Human brains are naturally wired to see patterns and faces, even in random shapes. Some of the alleged paranormal activity at Bachelor's Grove might also have purely human origins. Vandalism and trespassing unfortunately continue to be issues at the cemetery, despite efforts to secure it. People sneaking around the grounds, especially at night, could inadvertently cause noises or shadows that are misinterpreted as ghostly. Deliberate hoaxes are also a possibility, with some individuals trying to scare others or add to the legends. The stories of satanic rituals, while alarming, might be exaggerated or based on isolated incidents. They could be the work of mischievous teenagers engaging in theatrics rather than organized cults performing serious ceremonies. Skeptics rightly argue that concrete, verifiable and scientifically repeatable proof of ghosts at Bachelor's Grove or anywhere else remains elusive. They call for more rigorous controlled investigation methods. Section 8. The Grove's Shadow, Cultural Impact and Enduring Urban Legend. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery has made a strong and lasting cultural impact, particularly in the Chicagoland area. It is far more than just an old, abandoned burial ground. It has evolved into a significant landmark of American folklore and paranormal pop culture. Its chilling stories of ghosts and strange happenings are told and retold across the country. It effectively represents the quintessential haunted cemetery in the public imagination. Many people know its name and its reputation, even if they live hundreds of miles away from Illinois. This widespread notoriety is a testament to the enduring power of its legends. It serves as a common touchstone for discussions about ghosts, the afterlife, and the paranormal. For many local residents, especially in the south suburbs of Chicago, visiting Bachelor's Grove has become a kind of rite of passage. Teenagers and young adults often dare each other to visit the cemetery, particularly at night. They go seeking thrills, adventure, and a chance to test their bravery against its fearsome reputation. This informal tradition has existed for many generations. It plays a crucial role in keeping the stories and legends alive and relevant for new audiences. The cemetery becomes a real-world backdrop for youthful adventures and spooky explorations. It is a place where local legends are not just heard, but are actively experienced firsthand. This personal connection strengthens its mythical status within the community. The urban legends that have grown up around Bachelor's Grove Cemetery are numerous and often quite elaborate. They frequently blend historical fact with imaginative fiction, creating a rich tapestry of lore. Stories of Chicago mobsters from the 1920s and 1930s supposedly dumping bodies in the cemetery or the nearby woods are particularly popular. While the general area was indeed near routes used by gangsters during Prohibition, concrete proof of such bodies being disposed of within the cemetery itself is largely lacking. These dramatic tales, true or not, add an extra layer of danger, mystery and intrigue to the site. They connect the quiet cemetery to Chicago's notoriously violent and colourful past. Such legends make the place even more captivating. The cemetery's formidable haunted reputation has inspired a wide range of creative works. This includes books, magazine articles, documentary films, websites, and even pieces of artwork. It serves as a dark muse for those who are fascinated by the macabre, the mysterious, and the unexplained. The prevalent themes found in its stories, such as lost souls, disturbed graves, lingering spirits, and dark rituals, resonate deeply with many people. Bachelor's Grove taps into primal human fears about death, the unknown, and what may lie beyond. Its enduring stories reflect our deep-seated cultural fascination with the afterlife and the possibility of ghosts. It functions as a kind of cultural space where these profound ideas and anxieties can be explored and expressed. Section 9. Guarding the Grove Preservation, Present Day and Lingering Questions. Concerted efforts have been made over the years to protect Bachelor's Grove Cemetery from further harm. The Cook County Forest Preserve District officially owns and manages the land on which the cemetery is situated. They have taken various steps to try and curb the persistent problems of vandalism and trespassing. These measures have included, at different times, increased patrols by Forest Preserve Police and the installation of better fencing around the perimeter. However, the cemetery's remote and somewhat hidden location still makes it a difficult site to monitor effectively at all times. Volunteer groups and local historical societies also play an important role. They work to document the remaining graves and headstones. They also strive to raise public awareness about its historical significance, not just its ghostly tales. Today, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery remains accessible to the public. It is located within the boundaries of the Rubio Woods Forest Preserve. Visitors can walk the well-trodden path from the main road back to the cemetery grounds, primarily during daylight hours. The Forest Preserve District has established rules and regulations to help protect the site. Nighttime access to the cemetery is officially prohibited. This rule is in place to prevent further vandalism, ensure public safety, and respect the historical nature of the site. Despite these regulations, some individuals still attempt to enter the cemetery after dark. The powerful allure of its haunted reputation and the chance for a paranormal experience remains very strong for many. The site continues to be a popular, if somewhat controversial, destination. The current physical condition of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is a mixture of ongoing neglect and dedicated preservation attempts. Many of the historic headstones are broken, defaced, or entirely missing. The grounds are often overgrown with weeds, grass, and encroaching brush, especially during the summer months. Yet despite the damage and decay, there is an undeniable sense of history that endures. The few remaining legible stones tell poignant stories of the early settlers who are buried there. The quiet, wooded setting, when visited respectfully during the daytime, can actually be quite peaceful and contemplative. It is truly a place of stark contrast. It is both a forgotten historical site and a renowned paranormal hotspot. This inherent duality defines its present status. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery continues to fascinate, frighten, and intrigue people from all walks of life. Its complex legends are deeply embedded in American ghost lore and popular culture. Will its many mysteries ever be fully solved and explained? Perhaps not. The line between documented history, evolving folklore, and reported paranormal experiences is often very blurred at this unique location. Its enduring appeal likely lies in these very unanswered questions and the sense of the unknown. It remains a powerful and evocative symbol of the haunted American landscape. As long as there are chilling stories to tell, unexplained phenomena to investigate, and shadowy corners to explore, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery will continue to call out to the curious and the brave. Its chilling invitation remains open.